Hi guys, I'm glad everyone is here. I'm glad you invited me to be with you, and thank you for watching my videos. The state of Kansas here in the United States is still rocking and rolling. USGS has 11 earthquakes mapped on this map that there has been within the last 7 days. The most recent earthquake was a magnitude 3.3 by Gibson, Kansas. I think you have a much larger earthquake coming, and the reason being these earthquakes are near the mid-continent rift system. It's also close to the Humboldt Fault, which also wraps up to around the new Madrid Fault system, which is part of this failed rift zone. Let me bring it over here. Yeah, not far from the new Madrid Fault Zone. USGS, the University of Kansas, did not fib about this earthquake. It actually was a magnitude 3.35. And I'll bring it down so you can see it. This is the last one that they are reporting. There has been a lot of little shakers. You can see one right here. It's on both monitors. Let me pull it over so you can see it a little bit better. There's another one right there, and I'll pull it back another 4 hours. There's that earthquake. You can see another small one there, and one up there. It's on both monitors. There's also another earthquake right there, and I'll go back another 4 hours. And you see another one just after 8 o'clock Universal Time right there. Right there. There's another one. There's all kinds of very small microquakes. Let me go back. Another one right there. Just after midnight Universal Time. I'll go back another 4 hours. And what I noticed here, let me extract this. I talked about this in one of my other videos. What we have is tectonic movement, tectonic earthquakes going on. See how sharp they are? And I've talked about how sharp these are in comparison to other types of earthquakes. I'll give you a link to this paper. Here it says, oil field workers drill in the Gibson Hills in Kansas. A byproduct of fracking for oil in states like Kansas and Oklahoma is a sharp rise in the number of earthquakes. It's actually not the fracking of the ground that causes the earthquakes. It's the injecting of the water, the wastewater that they use to crack the ground to extract the oil and gas. For many years, they denied that they were causing the earthquakes. This here is the location of the most recent earthquake, right there. And another thing, as I'm putting out the plots for the different earthquakes, this area is riddled with faults. It's easy to see. All you got to do is follow the rivers and streams, because earthquakes love to follow these fracture zones. This here is a river that goes all the way up to Gibson. And notice the earthquakes that are along this fault zone. And we got one there and another one there. And I marked them out in red. There was a magnitude 4.0 earthquake that 127 people said they felt. Now that was on the 15th, just 2 days ago. USGS has an image of 4 different types of earthquakes. See the sharp points? Tectonic-like. Shallow volcanic. They got a little bit rounder edge. Surface events, I've talked about those, and harmonic tremors. Harmonic tremors and shallow volcanic are very similar. That's when you got magma on the move. But today what we got going on is tectonic-like earthquakes, which are, induced by the oil and gas industry. So Wednesday's 4.0 was the largest they've had in a while. Here's an image of the felt map. Let me bring it out a little bit. And we'll come back in all the way up to Beatrice, and all the way down to Hayesville. And I believe I did a report on these earthquakes. The first wave of the earthquake came from the northeast. Yeah, that mid-continent rift system, which is right there. And then, like I said, down here we have the Humboldt Fault, which runs up. They broke it down into different sections and named it. That's what this red line going up is. What we're looking at is a top view of the fault and how the earthquake affected the area. We got spreading. So the fault system opened up and we got dipping coming from the northeast going towards southwest. They figured tension from this earthquake was applied going north. So here we have the felt reports. We got a lot of felt reports to the north. See that? From the epicenter where the earthquake occurred. And they didn't fib about that earthquake. I'll bring it down and show you. I got actually a 4.01. And there's the spectrogram. Yeah, it lasted a long time. The seismic signature. Yeah, a very long time. 127 people said they felt that earthquake. The next largest one was a magnitude 3.8. 102 people said they felt that earthquake. Now that was on the 12th. Yeah, they do not have a motion tensor ball for that earthquake, but see that? Those are the felt reports. Then yesterday they reported a 2.5, a 3.1 on the 15th, a 3.4 on the 15th, the 4.0. We'll go back up. See the line? A 2.5 on the 14th, a 2.5 on the 12th, 3.8 on the 11th, a 2.5 on the 11th, 2.6 on the 11th, a 3.0 on the 11th, and that's all they're reporting right now. I do not know if you can see the seismic signature here for the tectonic movement, and through there, and through there. Let's take a look at there. And this is what it was showing when I pulled the files. This here is what's currently showing on the monitor. I'm going to pull this right here. There's another recent section that I just pulled, and that comes from right there. These corporations collect, earn, I don't know if you can call it earn, but they make so much money from the oil and the gas. And Tesla, his papers were stolen. He proved you can get free energy just from the atmosphere. With that technology that he developed, yeah, everyone could have free energy, which would be great for the environment. See how these earthquakes just right along this fault zone? Any earthquake has a 20% chance of being a foreshock for something much larger. In one of my reports, I talked about all the way up until, I think it was 1996, there was only 9 deep earthquakes ever recorded. And then from 96 until 2006, they had recorded over 600 deep earthquakes, which would be 200 kilometers or deeper. So that would be about 120 miles. Earthquakes are definitely increasing. They don't want you to know that because people will be asking why. The Earth is going through some major changes. And as I said, in my own opinion, yeah, the tectonic plates have always been moving, but there has been an increase in this movement. And I am concerned about this movement and the consequences of larger earthquakes along the plate tectonics, along these failed rift systems, such as this one right here, and the New Madrid. And then we got the earthquakes along the west coast, earthquakes along the East Coast, and most people are not prepared. They have not taught their children what to do in the event of a large disaster, a large earthquake. A lot of people do not have stored water. They do not have medical supplies. They don't have batteries. They don't have a flashlight. They haven't even thought about food for their pets. A lot of people should have a whistle with them, so if they're trapped, they can blow it and save their breath. There's simple things you can do by removing large objects from where you sit, be it by your couch, your chair, your bed. Bolt those cupboards to the walls. For about $7 to $12, you can bolt the flat screen TV to the wall. It's a cloth strap. And TVs are made for holes, one on each side at the top of the television, to put these straps in. Know how to shut off your water and your gas. Know where everyone's going to meet after a disaster. Have a bug home kit in your car that you carry with you, or at school or at work at all times. Yeah, a bug home kit. That's a kit just so you can get home. Not a bug out kit, which has more emergency supplies than what you would need to get home. Be familiar with the areas where you may have to walk to get home. What bridges that might be out, roads that might be out. Learn the basics of first aid. So if you have any additional thoughts or comments, please put those down below. I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank everyone for your support. But what you can do for me and for all your loved ones is be prepared. If you're prepared, then you've already got a plan. You already thought things out. And you're not going to panic during a time of disaster. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.